What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about ChargePoint. Go over some of the data points, break it down on what's been coming out from the company itself and where I see things going from here. Before getting to any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So ChargePoint's pulling back down 4.39%, just piggybacking off of the broader market. So today there's a lot of selling, tax loss selling, just profit taking with 2 days left in 2024. So that's kind of one thing that's causing a bloodbath in the market. But with ChargePoint, you have been seeing less and less daily volume. As I brought up in the past, typically lower volume makes it very easy to manipulate. So ChargePoint, you're not seeing that much transactions on the secondary market. So big money is not really lining up to buy ChargePoint. So no buying the dip kind of scenario. So it's very unfortunate. But like I said, with no actual buying from big money, it's just algorithmic trading and shorts that are kind of dictating where ChargePoint's going. So it's kind of been going up a little bit with the broader market, but at the same time, once the market turns red, there's nothing really holding ChargePoint up. No good, strong support levels. So this is why you do see ChargePoint go down very, very fast. Plus, at the same time, just market's been open roughly just shy of around 30 minutes. Shorts are already increasing 2.88 million shares, pretty much making up the majority of the volume today. So it's kind of crazy, but 29.63% of the free flow is being shorted. Works out to be 120.89 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 12.91. Utilization is 99.89. So just generally looking at what shorts have been doing, they've been lingering for a while now. Kind of the low was roughly beginning of December, 27.49%, but still for 27% short interest to be the low, that's kind of crazy. So this you can kind of see a little bit better on what shorts have been doing. But yeah, generally with lower volume, whatever shorts want does come to fruition. So let me know your viewpoint on that. As far as recent news, there hasn't been all that much. So my last video, I already talked on December the 18th, so that PR. But essentially, with what Trump did say and them kind of removing money from just charging for going forward, I think that puts ChargePoint in a even worse scenario. As I alluded to in my previous video on ChargePoint, I think in reality there is a lot more downside to come, but that might offer a very rare opportunity that it'll be taken over. And so a lot of big names will be looking to expand in the EV sector, including the infrastructure, charging. And so ChargePoint, yeah, they've messed up quite a lot over the last year and a half. And I think, again, that's really hurt the stock price. And when it comes down to companies wanting to take over and acquire, they look for kind of good companies, yes, that have a lot of good upside potential, which ChargePoint does have. So I think in general, with the market cap being roughly around 504.27 million as of right now, it's most likely, if it does continue to go down, let's say it settles roughly around that 80-70 cent mark, then essentially the market cap would be roughly around 350. So I think that would be very advantageous for an entity wanting to kind of establish on their infrastructure to take over ChargePoint. So kind of went into depth a little bit more on my previous video, so pop over there and kind of take a look under my channel. But yeah, I think right now there is more pain coming, and like I said, big money's not there to really save the day, regrettably. But even options, so market's been only open, like I said, roughly 30 minutes, but 18,000 in calls, 14,000 in puts. So big money just isn't really looking at ChargePoint. People aren't really looking at ChargePoint through common stock or even options. 75% of all the options being done today so far are bearish in nature, and just generally it looks like it seems to peak roughly around that 300-ish thousand in one trading day for options. And just looking at the put/call ratio, it is just absolutely insane. So there's not much optimism whatsoever for ChargePoint. Of the bulls, it looks like there's a consensus for it to be above $1.50, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $1. But again, you have to take all of this with a grain of salt because there is very little volume. But as of right now, with it at $1.09, it is trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and S2. So $1.08 is going to be a strong support. So far it's bouncing off of that, so we'll just have to wait and see. Flip side, $1.11, then $1.16 is going to be the next strong resistance / target point. So a lot of stocks are starting to recover right now from today's already crazy sell-off first thing. So ChargePoint isn't really happening, like not much is happening with ChargePoint right now, so just kind of stay tuned and watch for a lot of these support and resistance points. But as of right now, last analyst rating was 6 days ago, $2 price target, 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, Stefan, who has a 42% success rating. But even just kind of talking on their technicals for a minute, like it looks very, very bad. So below the ALMA, below all the key pivotal moving averages that I like to look at, so the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. On a positive note, it is very oversold. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you are able to kind of see that as well. But if ChargePoint, for whatever reason, is able to put out a good piece of news, then in theory you could see a rush of value investors getting in, which in reality, based on the technicals, could push it and test that 50-day moving average, which right now is sitting at roughly around $1.21. And if it's able to get above that, then it could kind of trade between that 150-day moving average. So I think in the short term, there's some good opportunity for it to go up, but at the same time, that's dependent on if they put out good news. If not, it is just going to continue to trend down regrettably. And then as a byproduct, it's just going to get into that danger zone of sub $1 that no company ever wants to get to, because then that is where you get into reverse stock split territory, and then it's just a vicious cycle from there. And again, that could offer a very good opportunity for someone who wants to kind of take over ChargePoint and acquire it. But yeah, ChargePoint I think right now does have a lot more pain and damage to it. So let me know your viewpoint on ChargePoint. Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? What's your viewpoint on ChargePoint, and do you still believe in it? And on a side note, is there a good catalyst that you feel is coming out that could really help the underlying stock? Or do you think that shorts are just going to continue to do whatever they do just to kind of profit? So what's your viewpoint? Hopefully everyone had a good weekend just passed. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers. Even over this past weekend, I stated that Faraday was going to have a good squeeze, and it is currently up 65.91%. Similarly, I mentioned that Hologram was going to have a good squeeze. That is up 45% right now. So yeah, it's worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.